Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. 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 Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online. Buy your tickets cause the game about to start.
What up, Ken? What's going on, baby? Sorry to keep you waiting, brother.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Just had to get on, man. Had to get on. Heard you talk good things, man. Had to get on.
Oh man, yo, let me tell you something, brother. It's been a long time, man. Hold on. Make sure he's on here. Yeah. Good. We here. Hey, listen, man. I can say this, man. The last time I saw you, we was up at Empire State Games in Syracuse.
Yeah. I had some great times up in Syracuse. Empire State Games. It was lit. It was always lit, man. It was great. Great competition. Great. It was great, man.
Listen, I'm gonna share this one story later on, but it's just one thing I remember with Ralph James, man. This was the funniest story, man, and I still remember it to this day. All right. Yeah. So, welcome to Basketball Heads, brother. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
And we want to get right to it, man. I always ask guys when they first come on, who introduced you to the game?
Well, that's great. That's a great question. The great question is my sister. I was 6 years old, and out in IS8 Park, that's where we grew up. My grandfather lived 108th and 165th Street, South Jamaica. That's where it all began for me. My sister Danielle, who I love dearly. She used to take me to the park to watch me. And then the basketball, I always cried for the basketball. Always cried, and they gave me the ball. I just throw it in. I used to throw it up at the hoop, and that's just how I began loving the game of basketball. My sister Danielle.
Okay. So your game kind of got its birth in Southside.
Somewhat.
I just see my boy. I see my boy Sean in the building, so I want to say that.
Yeah, Southside. Southside and Left Rack, they be like, where Kenny from? I always say, hey, I'm from Southside, but I moved to Left Rack when I started understanding and knowing, everything about the game. I was in Left Rack. So,
right.
But both get the love, though. Both get the love.
Facts. Where you get the name Chibbs from?
Well, that was my mother. My mother named me Chibbs when I was born. When it was 4 days old, they bring the baby in and you see your mother, whatever. Her mouth was full. She said cheeks. It came out Chibbs, and she just kept Chibbs. She just kept calling me Chibbs, Mr. Chibbs. So that's the name of my documentary is Mr. Chibbs. But then when I went to school, they had to, give me a government name. We like to say government name. So my government name was Kenneth. Through her ex-boyfriend, Kenneth Foreman, who took great care of me, but he wasn't my father. He took great care of me, but he wasn't my father. His name was Kenneth. So she named me Kenneth after him.
Okay, cool. Who was your first coach? Did you play like elementary school ball and then you went to junior high school play ball, or with junior high school would just start off?
Mr. Morales was my first coach in OLA, at OLA down on Queens Boulevard. I played CYO basketball, and I began to I ripped the lead up, and I began to play well. And Mr. Morales was my coach, and then I met people back home in Left Rack. Left Rack about 15 minutes from there. I met Vincent Smith. Vincent Smith is my mentor. That's where I learned. That's where I knew how to play basketball, but I learned some of the best things, about life, through Vincent Smith. It was awesome, man. Vincent Smith, and his older brother was Kenny Smith. So he had went to North Carolina from Malloy. I always wanted to go to Malloy, because he went to Malloy. I went there and played well there,
I always thought Vincent was the older brother.
No. Yes, he was. Vincent is the older brother. Excuse me. Vincent Smith.
Okay.
Vincent Smith.
Got you.
Smith. Kenny Smith.
Right.
And then myself, Kenny Anderson. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Jason Gilliam was just saying last night how Vincent was very impactful in his life, both him and Kenny.
Yes.
So you guys come from the same pedigree.
It's the same pedigree and everything. But he went to Malloy. I wanted to go to Malloy, and I used to go up to Vincent Smith's house apartment where Kenny lived, and he had all trophies. He had about 200 trophies, and I was like, I'm gonna get more than trophies than him. I'm gonna get more trophies than him, and I wind up, getting more trophies than him and just accolades. And I played through Kenny Smith. I wanted to be just as good at every aspect.
Right.
School, not only basketball, but school. How he was. He was intelligent. He was a very intelligent young man. He definitely was. And that was because his father and mother raised him very well.
And so I would say Kenny was the goal, right? You got somebody that you can model yourself after, right?
Yeah,
who was the guy in the neighborhood? Who was like the best ball player besides yourself, right? Because Kenny went on and did his thing. Yeah. Who was in Left Rack doing their thing that you say, you know what? I need to beat him before I can go to the next level. Wow,
you had a lot of players. I took pictures on Instagram with Kelly Blue. Kelly Blue he was great. Adolphus Gaffney went to Malloy before me. AD, he went to
Adolphus Gaffney. Yeah, name ring bell.
He went to Brooklyn. He went to Brooklyn College before me. Right. He was great. He lived in Left Rack for a while. Antoine, I don't know his last name. I don't know what school. Antoine, he played out in Left Rack Park. It was great, man. It was like 3, 4, 5 guys. Gary Voice went to Talent Time. He played. He lived in Left Rack. Alvin Lott went to Cardinal Hayes. He lived in Left Rack. I watched Alvin Lott.
Yeah, that's crazy, yo.
It was crazy players that you always wanted to play like or be like or look. In Left Rack City, we had a lot of balls.
Now I'm hearing these names, man. Definitely a lot of ballers coming out of there.
And they was all before me. They was older than me, but it was something to look at. Something to look at.
Okay, so who did you pattern your game after?
Well, I didn't pattern my game after. I took a little from everybody. Kenny Smith, Rod Strickland, Pearl Washington, Mark Jackson. I saw those guys play, and I just wanted a little bit of everybody on how the point guards played in New York City. So, there was a little bit of flair. There was, I could handle the ball extremely well. And I could shoot the ball from extremely well in high school and college. And then when getting pro, I had to change some things a little bit. But high school, I try to pick and choose who I play like. I just took a little bit from each of their games. And those are guys that give all the love. Kenny Patterson was a great. Kenny Patterson, Pearl Washington, Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland, Boo Harvey. We had great point guards in New York City. It was like 5 or 6 guys I could look at it like, You know, I want to be like her. I want to be, you know, I want to trench my game like these guys. They were just awesome players, man.
Listen, we're missing that guard power in New York City, right? But what I can say is there's this one kid named Khalil Brantley who I'm very big on, right? That's my guy Shah's son. He played for Boys and Girls.
Yeah.
How you guys used to pack the house and how Lon used to be outside the gym to watch you guys play. He's doing it on that level.
See, you know, I'm a college coach, but he's not. He's gonna go bigger. You know, I'm NAIA. I'm down in Fisk. I'm a small school. I talked to Shy, and he told me about his son. He's gonna be great. But I told Shy that keep everything, you know, in house and make him learn and make him go to school. Make him learn. Make him go to school because he's gonna need that. He's gonna need that, and he'll be fine. If you go to school, you can't just live through basketball.
No,
and you can't just do it. They're not nowadays. It's a little different. Yeah, and that's what I told him. You know what I'm saying? Get his grades correct, and boom, you know, make him get better, work out, you know, get on his game, and both academically and skill wise.
Well, I'm gonna give you a flash for the past right now. My boy Larry Timberlake, who you know is Paco's little brother. Yeah. His name escapes them. He said, we played with the Broncos in 1982, Biddy's basketball, citywide summer championship. We lost to Gauchos, Arnold Bernard, Jamal Walker. Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember that. But Arnold Bernard was a great point guard. Jamal Walker, you know, was a great. I beat him in the city championship my sophomore year. But I don't remember that far. Biddy basketball is kind of whoa. But
82, long time, brother.
That's a long time. No, 82. Right. But yeah, I did play with the Broncos, so yeah, I had to play when we lost to the Gauchos. But it was okay. It was great.
So you played with all three. You played with all three AAU teams in New York City.
Yeah. I really did. I played with the Broncos. I played with Riverside, and I played with Gauchos.
Right.
Yeah. Because I wanted to learn. I wanted to play against the best. You know.
My boy Pat from Detroit. He's a history teacher. He said, "What are the advantages and disadvantages of being a lefty?"
Wow. Everybody goes to the right side. You know, everybody jumping over to the right side. I'm shooting with the left. I'm going to the left. So we all, you know, accustomed, all the right-handers, and it's many right-handers. It's not too many lefties in the world. And that's what I think is our big advantage. They go into the right hand. They jump to the right side. So you able to see right over them, shoot over the left. I don't care how big you are, you know.
Listen, brother, you don't got to tell me. We was playing Empire State, and I had the ball, and you was posting up Kristen Laettner, right? And I'm really not trying to give you the ball because I'm like, this shit don't work. You was like, yo, T, pass me the ball. I said, fuck it. I gave you the ball. You pump fake and reverse that shit. And I'm saying, I even run out of the car. I'm sitting there going, look at this mother.
Yeah.
Those kind of situations, I definitely know and can vouch for, brother. So now you got Kenny Smith and Vincent Smith in your life, right?
Yeah.
Do that keep the other handlers and the other high schools away from you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I had some real, you know, I was raised in Left Frac City, Queens. And this is what I love them to this day. I still talk to all the guys. They ain't let nobody come near me. They ain't let nobody come near me, you know, but Vincent, Pierre Turner, Vincent Smith, and then the guys doing wrong, they didn't let nobody come near me. It was voodoo. So it was big back then, you know, and that's just how they treated me in Left Frac. And my mother, you know, rest in peace. My mother, you know, we loved it out there. It was just great, just living out in Left Frac and being a part of that hood. So when I made it, I had a tournament, the Kenny Anderson Classic.
Right.
It was huge. Like it went, we about 10, 11 years. It went to like 68 teams. It was just everybody would come in from different boroughs. It was awesome.
Right. Yeah. This is why you was telling Sha to keep everything in house, right? Because the same things that you went through and you was protected. A lot of guys out here taking advantage of guys, and they coming up short, right? Yeah. So it benefited you because it helped you mature, right? Got you along, and they push you hard, and also they push you in the classroom, and they made sure no one took advantage of you.
Yes, yes,
right.
And that's my mother. You know, she was like, I don't know, I know about basketball. Y'all just take care of my son. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what they did. And they was genuine guys. And it's hard now to find genuine guys in our neighborhoods. You know, you always find a lot of wolves out there that take advantage of young men, you know, and their talent. And that's the shaky thing about it, you know?
Yeah. Alvin Ritz said, do you remember taking our Queens team to the championship in the Wheelchair Classic?
Yeah, I remember a little bit. That was crazy. Because I remember I stole a ball from Nick Sanchez, who went to Christ the King in the Wheelchair Classic two or three times and scored. I remember, you know, some plays I do remember, but you know, some plays I don't. But the Wheelchair Classic was off the hook, man. It was a lot of people out there. It was basketball in the fullest. I grew up, you know, 85 to 89. And that was when high school basketball, summer basketball, it was huge in New York City. So I caught it at the right time.
Yeah, because right after the Pearl phenomenon that was going on, New York City kept going on, and then you popped up on the scene, right? Because you was one of those guys that kind of changed the culture. Pearl was, right? He did it as well. Hip hop was at its infancy, and people was making moves. There was a lot of things happening in the streets, and you was a part of that culture, brother, and helped change it. So that's definitely salute.
I've always you know, I played in the NBA, played in college, but my high school career and playing in New York City made me who I am today. Without it, I don't know if I would have made it. I really don't, you know, and I really appreciate all the New Yorkers that played against me, and it just was great. And it's great to hearing, you know, from you guys now. We could talk about it, you know, talk about how we was raised and how we was brought up in life in basketball. It was great, man. I love it, man.
Got another question for you, my boy Devon. He owns a company called 496 Sports in Atlanta.
Yeah,
definitely looking forward. Yo, D, come on, man, give it this sponsorship, brother. I need you, brother. Yeah, he said, what was your recruiting experience like? And what can you tell young ballers coming behind you?
My recruiting was, you know, I learned a lot, you know, in my high school. So Vincent, Pierre Turner, Coach Carroll, they didn't hold my hand. They just said, what schools are you interested in? And I was interested, and I was just interested in 5 schools, and it cracked down to 3 real quick. You know, Syracuse, Duke, Georgetown, Georgia Tech, and what was that was it really. It was like 4 schools. I knew who it was ahead of me. I knew what I was how I was trying to fit in, and I really, my grandmother at the time lived in Georgetown, lived in Washington. If John Thompson would have recruited me, you know, the Olympics was going on, and he was dealing with the soul and all that Olympics was going on. If he would have recruited me, came to my house, I might have went to Georgetown. But I didn't go, and he didn't recruit me. And I would have played with Alonzo and all them guys, but George, I was watching TV one day, and I saw Mark Price, and John Sally, and I was like, wow, who's that? He was just
Right, right.
He was just shooting, going pick and roll. He was just playing much freely, and I was like, whoa. And they almost beat Georgetown. They lost to them by 2, but then the school it picked. I was like, what school is that? And it was Georgia Tech. And I started, that they're on my list. And I started really wanting to go there. And then I met, Coach Crimmins. He was from the Bronx. He went to All Hallows. He was a good guy, man. It was all New York. It was all New York. And I was like, wow, if I go there, I could benefit myself and do well.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, so I'm gonna go back to that story, right? We all in the back in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Myself, you, Ralph James, Billy Singleton, Conrad McCray. It's a whole slew of us. And Conrad came late because he was coming to tell everybody that he signed.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing was, you were supposed to sign with him, but you was like, nah, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Conrad. His facial expression kind of changed or whatever. Right? Yeah. So then the police come in the back.
Wow.
Right? We got some bruises or whatever. We back there chilling. And Ralph James said, hold on, fellas. Let me handle this. Ralph James walks over to the police officers and says, hello, sir. We're back here celebrating Conrad McCray and Kenny Anderson signing to Syracuse. And we're here with the rest of our cronies. Now, let me tell you something, bro. I think this 86, 87. That's the first time I heard the word crony. Right? This shit coming from Ralph James, bro. And we all was just sitting back watching. Like 2 minutes, the cops turned around and broke out, man. It was like we could have been in the paper, right?
Yeah,
some big scandal, and Ralph James just cleaned that up, man. How was he as a teammate, brother?
Oh, he was great. I still talk to him nowadays. He went to Harvard. He played for the coach that coached Chicago Bulls, and he coached in Minnesota. What's his name?
Yes, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, what's his he won a championship with Boston Celtics. He coached.
Right.
Ralph James is great, man. He's always around, and I got his number on speed dial. I call him, see how he's doing, see how his family's doing, because he played with me at Malloy, and he was one of the guys that made me understand, school was more important than basketball. And he worked extremely hard, and I think he graduated my school, Malloy, like number one student. It was crazy, and he played on the team. So I was like, wow. So
he used to show up to games in suits. He used to show up to games in suits, right? Like real shit. Right? Ralph was dressed up to the T, suit, and ready to play.
Yeah, definitely. So he was great, man. Playing with him, it was awesome.
All right, got another question. Serious Style said, ask him about the Brooklyn Queens championship game against Carlton Paco Screen. Paco dropped 47 of the loss.
Yeah, we won. That's when Carlton Screen. I don't know how many points he had, but he was pretty nice. He was Severian point guard, but we just had too much for him, man. We had a crew, and we beat them my freshman year. We beat everybody. I won the city championship 2 years in a row. My freshman year, sophomore, and then we lost because Malik Sealy, he came in, and Christ the King was tough with Derek Phelps and Khalid Reeves, but that was my junior and senior year. But Carlton Screen was a great point guard.
Definitely. So Arthur Lee Walker, right? Another one of you guys he said, talk about the full court competition in the street ball and playing at Dean Street.
Oh, the D Street got me better, man. I used to go over to DC. I used to spend the night over at Antoine Marchard's house a lot, and we used to play at D Street every morning. We'll get up and play. It was tough competition, man. And that's what I say. It really wasn't high school ball or. It was just D Street, it made you competitor. It made you compete against the best kids in Brooklyn. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. Every weekend you had to get up and show and prove you could play. And, before the papers and all that, it was great. It was great basketball.
Yeah, you was one of the few guys from Queens and Uptown and the Bronx that came to Brooklyn. I was just telling this to Malloy Naismith, right?
Yeah.
We used to have to travel. The Brooklyn guys would have to travel everywhere to play, right? Yeah. And not too many of the big tournaments were in Brooklyn, so we had to go everywhere else and play and compete against everyone else. And not too many people came to Brooklyn. A few came, and now I'm hearing you came.
Yeah, I came, and Vincent Smith, my mentor, he told me, go around New York. That's where you get your name built up and you play the best against kids that's that's after what you trying to accomplish. And that's what I did, man. I went to every borough. I went to Long Island. I was all over. I was just looking to play against stiff competition. I went to every borough, Long Island, Mount Vernon, in the Bronx, everywhere, just to compete against the best. So my name will be out there when they know of Kenny Anderson came and played. I'm like, oh, okay, he's nice. That's what he wanted me to do.
So who was the guy who asked you bust, who had a name that let you know you was ready?
I know.
That's a question I ask everybody. So keep it 100.
you probably Paco Screen, Carlton Screen. Because I was a freshman. I think I was a freshman.
He was a senior. He was a senior.
He was a senior. And he was the top point guard. In the Brooklyn Queens, the Osses, what we go against. And that's who I know I had to go after. I have to compete against the best to be the best. So I would say Carlton Screen, when I was when he was a senior and I was a freshman, guard, I would say, Carlton Screen. He was tough. Then he went to Providence and played very well there.
Yes, let me tell you another short story. I remember being up at Glen Falls, right?
Yeah.
And Paco and his father, Mr. Screen, they're walking down the hall. And they both say, what's up, Glenn? And I was just so shocked that he knew my name. I was just like, holy shit. And we all know each other, but you don't know who knows who, right? Yeah. So, and we're going to get to you guys, sky blue and white uniforms and Malloy. Yeah. Compared to our raggedy shit that we had at Lincoln. But let me tell you, brother. You guys we're gonna go back a little bit to your high school, but I remember we stand at the hotel and you guys is up on the platform and we downstairs and we looking up at you guys. They're like y'all motherfuckers on a podium. Y'all had y'all sky blue and white matching. Nobody had mismatching shit on like we did. Nobody's shit was faded. Y'all had on Converses. Everybody had the same sneakers on.
Yeah.
And we was like, oh, shit. We in for some trouble. And I don't think if it was for Sean Williams to tell us to stop looking at y'all. And he had a good relationship with Ralph James.
Okay.
And he had said something slick to Ralph James. And they laughed. And that kind of broke the ice. But y'all kind of had a shook for a moment, man. It was just like, okay.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers look like North Carolina. And then everybody was talking about the Malloy's North Carolina press. Watch out for the Malloy's North Carolina press.
Yeah. We Lincoln, that hurt me. That hurt me because, we took y'all too light. we took y'all lightly. We was like, oh, we're gonna blow y'all out. We're gonna win. And then the first half came. We was like, wow, this team is good. We played. We didn't know y'all was that good, and we took advantage. It was just like, we're gonna blow them out. You know, after winning the city, we was just on a high. You know, we just thought we was gonna win easily, and y'all came out and y'all beat us, man. Y'all hands up. Y'all just beat us.
The only people that believed in us was us and our coach. First, our coach, right? Because he told us y'all was gonna be looking past us, and you had just beat. I think y'all beat Zavarian, or y'all beat St. Anthony's.
St. Anthony's.
Y'all beat St. and you hit the buzzer beater.
Yeah, Tom Bryce.
We already know about you.
Yeah.
You already taken them to the city championship, and you winning the fucking game for them in 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Luckily, we had Tiny, Sean Williams, and Bernard Mitchell. Bernard Mitchell had one hell of a fucking game.
Yeah, and that's what Bernard Mitchell, wherever you at, man. You know, you beat me my high school, my freshman year. You was awesome. I think you had like 30-something points. I was like,
he had 35. He had 35, man. It was
like, right. Yo, we didn't know. We hardly knew at all. We didn't know none of y'all. I played. I knew. I was like, I'm telling you, man. Let's be ready. You know, that was like first quarter. You know, get into the game. You know, first, second quarter. I was like, let's get ready. It was too late though. Y'all had y'all confidence and y'all was rolling.
That was the key for us because we couldn't understand why your coach didn't play the first quarter. And when you was on Tiny show, I'm the one who asked the question. Like, was you disappointed for just playing 3 quarters, right? No. Because we preyed on that. Yes.
And it was the same all year long. We wasn't gonna change. My coach, he taught me, like, you're a freshman, you have your time to shine. We're gonna let my senior Greg Tracy start and play and see if he get any offers, and that's that. And that's what Jack Curran, my coach, made me do, and I respected that. And I was a freshman, and I understood that. And most kids wouldn't, but most kids' family wouldn't, or whatever. But it was great, and I did it. You know.
Thank God for Jack Curran, man. Listen. We got that first one out, and been rolling ever since. But that kind of gave us the confidence. And then we had to play against Arnold Bernardo the next night and went to double overtime.
Yes.
And then they have us play against King Rice and I'm like 10:30 in the morning. Like, you serious?
Y'all lost to King Rice in them?
Yes. They only had to play 1 game. Like, we done played y'all. Like, that was like the damn state championship. Then we had to play against Arnold Bernard, right? And all these guys.
Y'all played King Rice and y'all lost to King Rice in them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what we lost in the state championship to.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Because I didn't want to watch. I didn't watch no more basketball after that. We lost to y'all. I was like, oh. And I had to go back home and hear it, man. I was like, we lost to Lincoln. It was just yeah. But y'all deserved to win. Y'all deserved to win that game. Y'all played us. Y'all played well.
Yeah, you can. I'm telling you, that would be like the question of the century. If anybody can name the starting 5 in the Lincoln 1986 City Championship. If anybody can name the leading scorer.
That's correct.
Bernard Mitchell.
Bernard Mitchell, you just said it. And he never had a big game like that before?
Yes, he had 36 against Gerald Green. He only was show up against the best.
He
was one of those guys. He'll play against somebody regular, he'd have like 12, 14, maybe 18 points. Yeah. But if he knew it was a chance for him to shine, he turned it up. Yeah. And listen, I interviewed him, man, and it's such, not his life turned out tragic, but his basketball career could have been a lot better, right?
Yes,
it could have been, because he could have played anywhere.
Yeah, he could have.
Right? So, and salute to my dual T. Yo, brother, you always a legend in my book, man. All right, we got another question. My boy Pat said, "What are you curious to hear your thoughts on the 1990 NCAA tournament overtime win against Michigan State and Steve Smith?"
Yeah, that was great, man. That was an exciting game. You know, we was going back and forth, you know. But before that, we had beat Shaq and them. Shaq, Stanley Roberts, Chris Jackson, and then we moved on.
That's right. How do you fare against Chris? I know you beat him, but, you know, Chris Jackson was...
Chris Jackson was, he had a bad game. Shaq, Stanley Roberts. They had a weird team, and to me, the coach Dale Brown didn't work right with the bigs and Chris Jackson at the time. His name Abdul Jabbar. He let him control the game a lot more. The guard, where they should have got the ball inside a lot more, and they didn't. Right. You know what I mean? It killed them. But the Steve Smith game was one of those games was back and forth and boom, and I hit the shot, the two to put it in overtime. And then Dennis Scott won the game. He had a bad shooting game, but he won that game for us. He won that game for us. But that game was awesome, man. The Michigan State game, the LSU game, all those games, man. The tournament. We only had one game that we won big, and that was the first game. East Tennessee State with the little point guard Jennings.
Yes.
We blew them out. We blew them out, and then that was it. After that, we had games. We had nothing but overtime games. It was tough. It was tough.
You guys definitely want to run. You guys is called Lethal Weapon 3?
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 3, myself, Brian Oliver, and Dennis Scott. And, you know, we had a great year. We lost 6 games. We was 28-6. We won the ACC that year, played extremely well together. We played extremely well together because everybody knew what they had to do, you know, and to perform. Nobody was crying. We played like 6, 7 guys, you know, Coach Crimmins. And
right.
We played 6, 7 guys, and it was great.
Yeah, rumor has it that King Rice didn't want you at your University of North Carolina.
Well, yo, he got it. He got it. I didn't go there. You know what I'm saying? It was best for me to go to Georgia Tech. You know, that was a great school for me. And I love Atlanta. I love Georgia Tech. The school, the team we had, and a matter of fact, against UNC, I got the assist record. I got like 18 assists one night against them, against UNC. That night. So, you know, it all goes inside, man. You know, I got the assists. I had like 2 points, but I had 18 assists that game against UNC that night. So that's the game Coach Cribbins likes. He always talks about that. I had 2 points, but I had 18 assists.
So now Arthur Walker says, was it the fact that Bobby Hurley ripped you in Golden Hoops that you killed them in the NCAA tournament?
I don't really remember if he ripped me, but you say he did.
Yo, listen, let me tell you something. Yeah. People who've been watching you, they remember everything. You right? They remember everything. Yeah. How you tied your shoe, the way you smacked the ball on the foul line. These guys remember everything. Yeah. So, was it some kind of revenge on Bobby that night?
It wasn't no revenge. I just wanted to compete, you know, against the best point guards in the city, and he was one of them over from New Jersey, St. Patrick's. You know, we never could play them, you know, on a regular season. I wanted to play them, but we never could do it. So I knew, you know, everybody was going to be out watching us play, you know, in the Golden Hoops and things of that nature. And Duke was one of those games where you just had to be ready to play or they was going to blow you out.
Right. Okay. All right. How was it playing with Derek Coleman?
Oh, it was great. He's the best. Now, Derek Coleman is the best big man I ever played with. I give him much credit. He's awesome. 6'10", could do it all, could shoot, could dribble, post up. He's the best, man. He was an awesome player. But not only an awesome player, he's a good dude. You got to know him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, okay. Now my artist who grew up watching you play, he's from Queens, he played in Jackson. He's actually doing your artwork right now.
Yeah.
Right? He's doing a mural of you as we speak.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
And we're going to definitely send it out to you, brother. Okay. He wanted to know, how was Drazen Petrovic?
Oh, Drazen Petrovic, man. He lost too soon, man. He's lost too soon, man. He was going to be up there, you know, with some of the best. He was at Portland and he got traded to the Nets, and it just opened him up. It opened his game up in the East. He had a hell of a talent. Work ethic was awesome. Everything. He was a good guy. Everything. He wanted to be the best, and he was on his way. And
that's
boom,
right.
Got into a car accident. It's just sad, man. But he's a great teammate and everything.
All right. How do you compare AAU when you was coming up compared to now?
When I played, it was more like how could I say it was more organized. You just played with the team you played with. Now it seems like a lot of the guys, a lot of the coaches are in it for the wrong reasons. You know, for the wrong reasons. Getting certain kids to go to certain schools so they could get rep or they could get money from that school nowadays. Yeah. And you know, when I played, it was more for competition. Going to different cities, you know, bigging it up and just playing basketball was the main reason. But nowadays it's a little different, man, and that's sad, you know. But you know, you handle it, you know, if you're a coach, you're doing it the right way, you know. It's just crazy, man. Now you make me think about how young kids that can play get mistreated. You know, don't know their talents and their worth, and they got to get a grip on that. And once they get a grip, you know, on their talent and what they're worth, they'll get it right.
Listen, Garfield Smith, right? Listening to his story, right? He developed his whole game in the AAU system, right, and was developed. Whereas a lot of guys who come, they already got their games and they go to the AAU circuit and they go get noticed. Speaking of him, I noticed that the AAU benefited him because they taught him the game. Yeah. Right? And it was something that he could stay with for years to come, and it helped him develop it even more to where he became the player in Maryland. Yeah. He's a good friend of mine, you know. He watched, he learned, he played against some of the best. And that's one of the reasons growing up in New York, you could see all the basketball in the world. We played in different parks, recreation centers, you could see it. But with him, like you said, he watched, he learned, he practiced, he did it. And that's where he learned the game at. He learned in New York City, and he became very good. He got a scholarship to go to Maryland, played very well. What do you think we can do for our New York City basketball players to get more of our kids into Division I and get them ready for Division I basketball? I think they playing, but also tell them to go to school, man. Let's work it out where you could get some type of education with the basketball, because a lot of us New Yorkers are living, you know, single parent homes. Mother's not there all the time, so we're able to you come home from school. I got homework. I ain't doing no homework. You're just going out to the park, you're playing ball. You're getting better basketball wise, but you're not getting better school wise. And I think you got to get both. You got to get both in there. I went to Catholic school. I went to Archbishop Malley High School, which was very tough for me, but I was able to advance because I had good people in my corner. Vincent Smith, Pierre Turner, you know, those guys was like, hey, got to get education. You know what I'm saying? So that's the key. And, you know, I think education is very, very serious. It's very important because, look, I play basketball. I played on the toughest level in the NBA and was 35 years old when I retired. You know, 14 years, 35 years old when I retired. What I'm going to do?
You know, I had to go back to school. I went back to school and got my bachelor's at St. Thomas University down in Florida. Got my bachelor's, and now I'm coaching. You know, I'm coaching at Fisk University. So NAIA is cool, but I'm coaching. I'm giving back, and that's the main thing. And that's the main thing.
And salute to you, my brother, for persevering.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. That's very important. So you having mentors was the key to helping you.
Yeah,
that's what I think a lot of kids are missing right now, the mentor aspect.
Yep.
Along with playing basketball.
You hit it right on the nose. You hit it right on the nose. It's the mentors. Someone that's positive. I looked up to Kenny Smith. He was a positive influence. Vincent Smith, his brother, helped me grow as not only on the basketball court, but in school. I went to a very academic school, and it was very difficult for me, but they showed me the way. They showed me the way, and I was able to get over it. And that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do more of. And we're not doing that in New York. All New York, I love it. I love New York. But, you nice. You nice and ball. You nice. Don't worry about it. We're going to take it. You know, that's what you hear. But you got to start. You got to start hearing what you might not like at the time, and that's dealing with school. You know, don't deal with all this other nonsense, and that's what a lot of kids are dealing with right now. Because in the pros, you got to make how many pros is what 450 players, 450. So
if that,
that's tough. That's tough to make. You know, so you gotta start managing and seeing what's in it for your best interest. You know, you can use basketball. Don't let it use you.
Facts. So who you say was your favorite point guard from New York from your era? Like somebody that you know, probably was your competition, but you say, you know what? I like that guy.
Oh, I like, rest in peace. I love Dave Edwards. You know, Dave Edwards with the Jackson High School. He from Queens. He's from my neighborhood. I loved him, man. I loved him, and rest in peace, man.
That's right. Rest in peace, David. Good guy.
Great guy. He was great, and it wasn't that many great point guards in my era. They was all big. They was all big. Malik Sealy. Yeah. You know, in my era, it was always, rest in peace, Malik Sealy. Who, he went to St. John's University with Louis Conaseca. He had a great career. There's a lot of New Yorkers who played the game the right way, but they just played the game the right way, but they didn't want to do the other things. They didn't want to they didn't want to go to school and get educated, and that's what happened. But it's coming from New York, it makes you or break you, coming from New York, and that's what it's all about.
So who can you say was the best high school basketball player you played against, best college player, and best pro that you played against?
Best high school.
One each.
Oh, I guess the best high school player. I played against some great. I'm trying. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you bust everybody's ass. We get it. You know what I'm saying? We get it.
I can't work my
own. When you bust everybody's ass, you can't.
I'm gonna say the best high school player, Grant Hill. We played him in the Beach Ball Classic, and we beat him. But Grant Hill was awesome. But a team, we beat them in the Beach Ball Classic in high school. Grant Hill was awesome. He was an awesome player. And then college. I would have to say, let's forget about Shaquille O'Neal. Let's go with Steve Smith. Let's go with Steve Smith. That's who we beat. We beat to go to the Elite Eight. Beat Steve Smith and them. He was great at Michigan State. He was awesome, Steve Smith. And then pros. Come on, man. The Last Dance just came up. Michael Jordan, man. I played against them. See, but But I played against the three greatest that they talking about now. You know, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, and
That's
LeBron
right.
James. I played against all three of them. But I'm gonna give it to, you know, I'm you know, Michael Jordan, you know, is the best.
Facts.
Is the best.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. How does the business side of basketball in the NBA, how can it distract you, right?
Yeah.
And we know the benefits of it. How can the business side of basketball distract you from being an athlete?
Oh, it definitely could distract you because it's like how much money I'm getting. And I seen a lot of this in my time when I played in the NBA. A lot of guys got the money and just didn't want to play no more. Just didn't have that inspiration, that's all out because they got their money. They got their money. Nowadays, I do see a lot of guys, you know, with all these $100 million contracts, they still competing and they still playing on a high level, and they still want to get better. You know, that's what I do see, the top players. But most of these guys are just, you know, when I was in the league, when I came early in the league, it was just more get the money and then they stop playing, you know, for whatever reason that was, you know. But that's what, you know, you got to keep going, man. You got to keep grinding and finding a way to better yourself. Like Steph Curry, I see he's a great shooter. He's a great teammate. He got all, and I think he gets it from his father. Because I played with Dale Curry, his father, in Charlotte, and I think he gets a lot of his the way he is. You gotta say, you know, his brother, he got a twin. His brother. I forgot his brother's name. His brother played with Dallas. I forgot Steph. It's Steph Curry, and I forgot his brother's name. But
who? Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph Curry. Yeah.
Steph Curry, and they're both alike. You know, not playing wise, but mentally.
Right.
And he gets it from his father, you know, Dale. And he raised two good kids, man, and they doing well for themselves. And not for themselves, not only for themselves, but for the NBA. And that's what I do see. You see Steph Curry with Golden State, he won all the championships. He's still working out on his game. He's getting better because it's more to it than just money. You know, you see those type of guys. I don't know how many guys in the league is it. Maybe 15 to 20 guys in the league like that got the money and just like keep working.
Yeah. You gotta be built differently, man.
Yeah.
My man Mark Petit played at Hofstra. He said, "Give me your top 5 New York City ball players." So give me the top 5 all-time New York City players. Yeah.
That's tough. But I'm gonna give you.
I would start off with Kareem.
Yeah.
Yourself.
You put me in there. That's great. That's great, man. Thank you.
Yo, brother. Number 2, like high school basketball players and the impact that you had in New York. You changed the culture, fam.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Kareem, he put me in there.
I'm gonna say my boy Steph for Lincoln because I gotta throw a Lincoln guy in there.
Yeah, Steph was great, but I would you put Steph. Steph is awesome player. But I would go Tiny Archibald. Archibald. It's so many New Yorkers. Chris Mullin. Oh man, it's so many. For me. Yes. For me, Kenny Smith, I have to put in there, and I know it because for me, he was the reason why I was so good is because of Kenny Smith. You know, I wanted to be better. I wanted to be like him and be better than him. So, you know, I would say Kenny Smith, Mark Jackson, you got Pearl in there, Washington. He's a great. He might never had a great pro career, but for college and everything, he was the man. He was the man in college. Pearl Washington was the guy. You got Kenny Patterson. He went to the Pearl. He was nice. Boo Harvey over. It's so many. I don't know, man. It's so many.
But you named the core few that I could say had an impact on New York. Pearl shifted the culture in New York City, and he was around when the Big East first exploded. Him and Patrick Ewing basically promoted the Big East.
Yes, they did, and that was awesome. That was awesome. And they
gave
had
us guys on the East Coast something good to watch, and it helped us get better.
Yes, it did. Pearl Washington was that guy. He was just awesome, man. He was just awesome.
Yeah, you guys, I put you guys definitely on the same level.
I'm bad when everybody say name 5. Look, I'll be around the world. Everybody name 5 players, but I can't name 5 players. I just be like, come on, man. It's got to be. It's gonna go 10 to 15 players. I'm gonna name that's been great. I could never do that, man.
It's hard, brother. You know, one of the reasons why I started this show is because I saw my man Lamar Odom on Drink Chats.
Yeah.
And I always say this. I didn't like the way he was represented, brother. So I wanted to create a platform where our guys from New York City, you know, you can go on you go on ESPN, Kenny, you can go on All the Smoke. You don't have to be here, brother, but you giving back to New York says a lot, right? And what we're trying to do.
Basketball head, my man, run it. This is a great show. Everybody should tune in, man, because we grew up together. And you talk about the game, talk about life. It's just an awesome plateau where we could get, where we could get it off at. And that's here, man. The social media. So I love it, man.
Yo, brother, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for coming by. Appreciate you giving your time. Anybody got any more questions before we leave out, man? Because I don't want to, cut it off too soon. And you guys say, yo, Pooh, I need to answer a question. Oh, okay. Somebody said, ask you about Sweet Pea, Lloyd Daniels.
Oh my God, that's like my brother, man. That's like
we need to get Lloyd on here. Anybody who in contact with Lloyd,
I'm in touch with him. I'll get him your number. I'll get him the number and tell him you should go on. But Lloyd, hey, what he does every morning, he put a scripture every morning to my phone. Every morning, a church scripture. He's doing real well, man, and God bless him, man. I love Lloyd. He was one of the best. He's the best. In my era, he was one of the best players to ever come out of New York, Queens. He's a great guy, man. Lloyd Daniels.
Could have put him in that top 5, right?
I could have put him in there. I could have put him in there.
Let me tell you, Lloyd Daniels, who is a freshman, played at Jefferson, and we met them in the playoffs. And Kenny Parker, KRS-One brother, was on my team at Lincoln.
Yeah.
He and Lloyd was a freshman. Kenny was a senior. Kenny wound up going to St. Peter, so he was a Division I player.
Yeah, okay.
Lloyd taught him a new asshole as a freshman. And when Kenny comes on here, we're going to talk about that. He reminded me, he said, yo, G, remember that time I played against Lloyd? And he gave me like 29? It was sickening. He had PC hair.
Yeah, all that.
It was like, who was this kid?
He just come and play ball, man. He come and work you out. And what was so great about his game, it was so fundamentally sound. He was so fundamentally sound. And he hit the middle of the backboard, the side backboard, everything. He just handled the ball, 6 rebounds, assists. He was great, man. He's a great player.
I always want to know who the hell taught him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He was way more developed than a lot of guys. He was 6'7".
Yeah.
He threw with both hands and can dribble and can pass.
Yeah, that was awesome. He was awesome.
Look, brother, we going for days, man. We asked him about Ralph James already. Definitely want to get that out the way. Boom, boom, boom. Say he was a walking triple-double.
Yeah, Lloyd Daniels was a walking triple-double. Yeah, definitely. If he was able to get a hold of himself, through high school, and college, he would have been great. You know what I'm saying? But that's other things he had you know, taking advantage of him. But he's just a great person right now. I just love him. He's a good person.
Yo, Kenny, I want to bring you back one more time so I can show you how far we got with the artwork, and then we're going to wrap it up, all right?
Okay, my man.
All right, all right. Come back, y'all.